What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I don't understand. I just don't understand this world that we're living in. Everybody hates everything. Everybody's so negative about everything. You boot up Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it nowadays, and it's just everybody hating everything. I don't get it. I just watched Electric State. The moment I saw negativity towards this movie, I was like, why? I got to know why. So I turn on the movie. Now, granted, I didn't know anything about it going in. I didn't know that there was like some sort of comic or graphic novel or some sort of like this was an adaptation of a thing. I didn't know that. My buddy told me that at a hockey game the other day when we saw an ad for it. I watched the trailer a while back. I was like, cool, that looks fine. I like Chris Pratt. I'll watch that. And then a couple of days ago, I saw it was coming out on Netflix yesterday. So I watched it tonight with my wife just now. We watched the minute-long trailer before the movie started, and I said, looks fine, I'll watch it. And she said, looks fine, she'll watch it. 2 hours later, I am baffled. This movie was so good. It was so good. And my wife rated it an 8. I said, hell yeah, we gave a high five, and I said, I'm giving it a 9.5. Dude, I've seen so much bullshit on Twitter today saying how bad this movie is. Why? What is bad about this movie? I don't understand. Anthony Mackie playing Herm as one of the best designed robots I've seen in a movie, period. Herm, to me, like, I get it's subjective, but aesthetically, Herm is it's the Bionicle from, the early 2000s that I grew up building with the fucking weird flat head. Like, Herm, best design ever. Chris Pratt, amazing. Millie Bobby Brown was my only concern going into this movie. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm not convinced by her in anything, not even Stranger Things. I don't think Millie Bobby Brown is good as 11. I think 11 is the weakest character in Stranger Things. And holy shit, was she great. Her acting towards her brother, her robot, 10 out of 10. Out of this world. Like, she locks you into the movie. Chris Pratt is amazing in this movie. Anthony Mackie as Herm, 20 out of 10. A billion out of 10? I don't know. Anthony Mackie, this might be his best role, which is crazy. Like, that robot, I love. Then you got Esposito. Oh my God. You give a man 3 scenes where he's full body and the rest of it's just his face, kind of like an Iron Man situation. He takes it to the top. He takes it to the tippy top and makes every facial expression, every word gold. He's such a great villain in the fact that he's a dude who puts on a helmet and chases down robots and kills them is crazy. Like, that's the best kind of bounty hunter. And excuse me for stopping in between a lot of these sentences because your boy's got a sinus infection because Pittsburgh's weather has been garbage. Look, this movie is amazing, and I cannot believe the hate that it's getting. There's nothing bad about this movie. There's not one single thing I found wrong with this movie. The ending, like the very, very end when Millie Bobby Brown is giving her speech to the camera, the lighting was a little off. And at the very beginning of the movie, in like the first scene with Millie Bobby Brown and her brother walking the college campus after he takes the test, her mouth wasn't in sync with the audio. Other than those two things, there's nothing fucking wrong with this movie, dude. It had heart. I was emotional at parts, especially when Herm went down. My God, spoilers, by the way. Herm goes down, and I thought the worst. But my man's got a size for everything, and holy shit was I hype. Chris Pratt brings the comedy that I seen in previous things like Parks and Rec, Guardians 1. I feel like genuinely Chris Pratt hasn't been the same since probably like Guardians 2. I there was a long period of time where I disliked Chris Pratt, and I could not pinpoint it or tell you why. I just stopped liking everything that he was in. And going back and watching things that he's in, or watching things that he's coming out with now, he's amazing. So I'm very confused on that. It's probably the internet getting into my fucking brain and making me a negative piece of shit like everybody else in the world. I don't get it. Everybody's so negative about everything nowadays. Captain America, Brave New World, great movie. Everybody hated it. Daredevil Born Again, everybody's shitting all over it. But everybody wants to say that Infinity War and Endgame were the greatest movies ever made or whatever. And they're definitely not. They're definitely not. They're not even the best MCU movies ever made. The Russo brothers don't miss, by the way. I haven't seen a thing that they missed on. And this is continuing that trend. The storyline was great. Millie Bobby Brown is living in a world set in the 90s, basically, where she lost her family. She's a foster kid who's being housed by her father, George Costanza from Seinfeld, which, by the way, holy shit, if George Costanza just continued the trend that he was on in Seinfeld, you get this guy in a robot world. It's crazy. Her brother is dead with her two parents in this car accident. And then a random robot shows up one day and she follows this robot because it's her brother. They run into Chris Pratt. They start getting hunted by a bounty hunter. They have to go into this zone, this safe zone for robots called the X. And they go beyond the wall. They try and find out where her brother's at and where the doctor is located. The doctor that took her brother whenever he should be dead, but he's not from the car accident. Robots were built by humans to do work. They decided they wanted to live lives and not do work. And then you have a war ensues. Some genius guy around the same time Millie Bobby Brown's brother dies comes up with a way to create these neuro goggles that control robots so that they can go kill all the bad robots. Chris Pratt being a soldier, finding Herm because he was about to be killed by robots, and Herm being like, no, I'm going to save you. Great storyline for those two. Millie Bobby Brown looking for her brother that she thinks is dead, and then a robot shows up. Great storyline. The villain taking her brother and making him a symbiotic part of their company to win the war. Great storyline. The villain, which is I want to say Tucci. Great. I like the CGI in this movie. Amazing. The plot, the story beats. Amazing. Chris Pratt throwing a burrito into a microwave and saying, great, now I'm going to get salmonella. I'm going to get friggin' salmonella. I was crying laughing at that part. That is, like, Chris Pratt in this movie had me rolling around laughing. The art direction, the cinematography, the atmosphere, the vibe, everything about this movie was a billion out of 10. I love this movie. I'll probably watch this movie again a couple of times. Now, I understand we've been getting just bulldozed with bullshit for the last 3 or 4 years, especially from like the big boys like Marvel, and Sony coming out with garbage all the time, and just movies just haven't been what they were. And I understand that. But when you get a gem mixed in with all the bullshit, don't just hate on it because it's another thing that these corporations are coming out with. Enjoy it for what it is. Like, this is what I don't understand. It's an adaptation of a thing, sure. It does not have to be the same as that thing. Do you think Infinity War and Endgame are the same as the comics? Because they're not. Do you think Captain America Civil War adaptation, it's not the exact same thing? It's an adaptation. I like, I'm rambling here, but I just don't understand what people want. You're negative about everything. Now, I understand people being upset about certain things if they're actually bad. Like, everything that BioWare, video game wise, BioWare has come out with has been garbage. Everything that Ubisoft has come out with in the last 10 years since Assassin's Creed Syndicate is garbage. Like, the MCU's multiverse saga is pretty much garbage. But there's stuff that's good within that garbage. Like, the video game community is not ruined. The, movies aren't ruined. I like, the internet is just such a terrible and negative place, dude. And I'm just trying to bring some positivity and let you know that I'm declaring this. If you haven't noticed by my tone for the last 10 minutes, this is a declaration of this movie being great and people being pieces of shit. That's what this is a declaration of. Also, this channel, dude, my channel, Danny Nines, is going to be a channel of positivity. Yes, there will be some negativity. Like, for instance, the movie The Joker, which is inherently bad. It is inherently bad. I'm not sure if that's 100% the right word, but that movie's terrible. And I will call it out. I will call out a movie when it's bad. X-Men Last Stand, terrible movie. The Russo Brothers have not missed. Although I haven't seen Gray Man and Extraction 2. But from my understanding, those movies are fine. I just don't get what people want, dude. Everybody hates everything. It's like it sells so well. And I would love to build my audience. And I would love for my channel to blow up or my Twitter to blow up and me to start making money off of my content. I would love that. Who wouldn't love that? But at what cost? I will not post stuff that's just straight up bashing. I won't do it. Like, I just posted a video the other day or today of why Taylor Swift being cast as Dazzler is terrible. It's not just because of Taylor Swift. It's because Dazzler's a bad character. Don't ruin my first MCU X-Men movie by bringing Taylor Swift into it, who's not an actress, and putting her into a huge role and making the Dazzler a huge role. Now, if Taylor Swift has a cameo as Dazzler, fine, do it, whatever. If it's a 15 seconds, she's singing up on a stage and then she kills a dude or like beats up a guy, whatever, cool. Then leave it at that. Just never have it again because the Dazzler's a bad character. Taylor Swift's not an actress. Don't put that in an MCU movie. Stuff like that, the Joker, the Taylor Swift stuff, sure, I will comment on and I will be critical, but I won't be just flat out negative and disrespectful to a thing because it's not exactly what you people wanted. I just don't get it. Like, everything is an interpretation. Everything is subjective, and I get that. But nobody else does. Like, if I don't like a thing, that doesn't mean I have to go around and hate on it all over the place. No. And just because I love a thing doesn't mean it's right. Sure, I like stuff that people hate. The movie Biodome is one of my favorite movies. People hate Pauly Shore. I don't understand why, but they do. Twister is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. People hate that movie, although they obviously like it enough because they made a second one, and the second one rips too. And anybody that says the second one and the first one suck, I mean, we're gonna go toe to toe. But look, The Electric State. I digress from all that bullshit. The Electric State is a genuinely good movie, and I did not know that I would feel this passionately about it. I had no idea watching that movie that I was going to love it and be so fucking irritated when I looked on Twitter that it was just going to be watching The Electric State. 2 hours later, don't watch it. It's terrible. Like, everybody's talking about how bad this movie is. I haven't seen a good review of this movie. I don't understand. Negativity sells, and I get that. But at what fucking cost? Like, granted, now, the Russo brothers do not need a small YouTube guy or any YouTube guy or Elon Musk to go up to them and be like, hey, your movie's great. Like, they don't need that. They're making enough money. They got their shit sorted. But they also are artists who have earned it. And they've earned it for a reason. And when you watch their stuff, they obviously care about it. And most of the people that create stuff do care about the shit that they create. And the Russo brothers made a great movie. Whether it's an adaptation of a thing that you love or not, this is their adaptation of that content. Just like if you had an adaptation of it, or you made a version of that thing, it would be different. You cannot just straight copy and paste the source material. Now, Zack Snyder's done it, and I understand that. But also, The Watchmen was flawless. So let's back away from that. Everything's going to be different because people read stuff and they feel differently about things and they interpret it different ways. So it makes them feel different things, and then it becomes a different thing to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you listen to a song and I listen to the same song, but you're going through a divorce and I had a family member pass away, we might think that song's different. Do you understand why being negative about a thing is fucking stupid? I digress. I loved Electric State, dude. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And I want people to just watch it without any negativity in their minds. This video, here's what this video is. I'll end on this. This video that I just made is me declaring that The Electric State is a great movie, that Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown are great in the movie together, that the Russo Brothers directed and wrote a great movie. I'm pretty sure they wrote it. The CGI and everything was great. So it's a great movie. This video is pleading. If you haven't seen anything about The Electric State and you don't have somebody in the back of your mind already nagging at you saying that this is shit, so it's cool to think that this thing is shit, go watch this movie and just have your own fucking opinion. Go have your own opinion about a thing without reading it on Twitter first or watching a video of somebody talking about it and being negative on it first. Have your own opinion. If you love something, love it. And if you hate it, but don't be a dick about it, because some stuff genuinely fucking bangs and rips, and people are just shitting all over it, trying to get views and stuff. Don't do that. Be a respectable human being and enjoy things in life. Enjoy art. Enjoy cinema. Enjoy music. Enjoy video games. Let's fucking start a positive strand of just loving and caring about things and enjoying shit. Now, I know my tone is pretty negative, but that's because I feel very strongly about the fact that everybody hates on everything nowadays. It's March 15th as of right now, in this moment. And every single thing that I've played, watched, and went and saw, like watched on TV or went and saw in the theaters, I've only heard negative shit about. I've rarely heard a positive thing about those things. We're 3 months into the year, 3.5 months into the year, and everything that's come out so far, everybody's talking about how bad it is. That's just what they want. They want you to be negative. They want to suppress our love for things. These fucking Twitter boys, you know what I mean? Boys and girls, or boys and whatever. Let's just enjoy shit. Watch The Electric State without any preconceived notions about it, without any programming of negativity in your brain. Go watch the movie, and I promise you'll have a good time because it's a banger.